morning. Good morning. So, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. A pleasure to have you, Dimitri.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. I'm ready to begin when you are. We are having here morning coffee.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome. Awesome. So, Dimitri, your debut album, Shadow of Another, was out on July 28th. So, would you like to tell me a bit on the songwriting and production behind this debut album?
Yeah, our album came out this summer. In 20th of September, it released worldwide through our label Warhol Death. And in 31st of October, it will release in Japan. You asked me about the production process.
Yes.
Yeah. Shadow of Another was composed over several years. We didn't have in mind exactly what we wanted to do with those songs. We ended up creating a concept album where we visit the feelings of loss and grief, and we ended up with 8 songs that really merged together really nicely. And this is our debut album.
Great, great, great. So, Dimitri, speaking on the album, 8 amazing songs, wonderfully done, great composition, amazing progression, and this album totally comes out really beautiful, and I'm totally loving each and every song from this album. So I want to thank you and the entire band for putting up such an awesome album this year. And as a band, as a creator,
Don't mention it.
as a band, how do you guys feel being a debut album? How do you guys feel about the outcome of your work?
It's always strange to listen back to what you've created, because we know the songs from the place of birth, from a single melody, a single lyric line that was the conception of the idea. Every song to us is like a child. We've seen it grow and we've seen it take the final form. I think every artist is very strict with themselves. So while we're very happy with how things ended up, we're happy about how the world has received it. We are looking forward to see how well we can grow with these songs, with this album, and hopefully we can make the next one better.
Amazing, amazing. And looking into the album, like you have the first 5 songs speaking on the stages of grief, starting with denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So, would you like to tell me what is the actual ideology behind these songs, and is there something like a theme or a conceptual behind these songwritings?
Yeah, we go through the 5 stages of grief, as you said. It's something personal for me. We had the idea already, but when we did, my father was sick, and in 2008 we lost him. So the songs are kind of like a biography. Instead of writing down in a book, I wrote the songs with the rest of the guys. Yeah, each of the first 5 songs covers the different stages of grief, as you said, denial, which is an instrumental piece that the album starts with, and it marks that feeling of awe, and when you're stunned when something terrible happens. You have no words, so that was the idea behind the instrumental. Anger, which is the heaviest song, I think, of the album, and it really depicts this feeling where you're upset, you cannot control your feelings. It is a kind of a prayer. The hero speaks to God, and he says, "You have forsaken me, and you're playing with us like we are pawns," etc. Bargaining, it's a more mellow song, something slower, something more atmospheric, with only some orchestral parts and a heavy burst in the end, which is also a different approach the hero has to get close to God. He tries to bargain with him and maybe take something out of this bad situation. When God doesn't know, obviously answer, there comes depression, where with only 8 lines of lyrics, we created a very emotional song, which is one of people's favorites on the album. And finally, we have the grand conclusion of the pentalogy of acceptance, where we are honored to have Zach Stevens sing with me on the song. And this song concludes the stages of grief as they are officially written in psychology science. And the rest of the 8 songs, which are the first step forward, rumination, and the final act, are unofficially the rest of the steps that someone has to take in order to move forward. The first step forward is what the title says, what the hero needs to do, what the hero needs to think in order to survive the next day. Rumination is when the past haunts you, and it's inevitable that you will think of your past mistakes, etc. And finally, the final act is the final resolution that the hero has, and has a much more positive tone when compared to the other songs.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks so much for the brief discussion on these songs. And I would like to know how did the collaboration with Zach Stevens actually happen? You know, Zach, we all know Zach is an iconic vocalist of Savatage and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So how was this collaboration, and how do you guys get to know each other and made this happen?
We've been friends on Facebook without really knowing each other for years. At one time, I decided to send him a message. I said I wanted him to participate in a song of ours, and he was as friendly as anyone you wouldn't imagine. He was very friendly, he was very helpful, he was very professional, and he was very eager too. He took the song, and in a couple of days he had done his parts, and he had done some more, some of the choir parts he did himself without having to. He was very enthusiastic about the song, and I think it turned out great.
Amazing, awesome. And speaking on music videos, like I have seen a couple of lyric videos and visualizers that you have released so far, but are you having any plans to come up with an official music video for this album?
Yeah, in fact, yesterday we were talking about doing something then next week for a live video, a live action video. And there are plans for one more video that is more story based, but it needs a little more scheduling, so we don't know when this will happen, but it will happen definitely.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And how is the touring plans coming up for you for the end of 2024, or do you have any big plans for 2025?
We are in the process of trying to figure out how to enter the touring world, how to make contacts, how to get on stages, because we were pretty unknown even as individuals in the scene. We haven't had any previous bands, so we're pretty much unknown to everyone that can show us the ropes. And we have planned our first live event in our hometown in December. And we're working hard to book as many shows as we can for 2025.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And the band was founded back in 2019, and now in 2024, you have come up with your debut album. So, how do you feel about the journey that you have traveled so far?
You know, the journey is far longer than that because as a band we exist for nearly a decade with Vasilis, the pianist. We have had so many member changes during this journey that it would be useless to say that we exist since 2023, for example, 2013, for example, because we didn't do anything significant at the time. But in this specific lineup with Vasilis and Petros, we are since 2019. We things have turned out great. You know, despite all the difficulties that we faced over the years, it was all done for a reason. You know, we ended up in a place where things turned out perfectly. So I'm really happy that we followed the path that we did.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Dimitri, the current lineup is you, Vasilis, and Petros, and you have guest musicians on the guitars and drums. But in the future, do you have plans to form this lineup as a complete one without guest musician and just as an actual band members?
We've actually found the missing band members. We haven't done any announcements yet. Unfortunately, it will not be Jim Politis and Nick Vell because they are very, very busy musicians. But we have some equally talented people that wanted to come on board, and I think in the next week we will have the announcements about them.
Great to hear. That's great to hear. And what would be the biggest dream as a band?
The biggest dream. Usually we don't speak them out loud because then they won't happen, you know. It's like the birthday wish. But for me personally, it would be for things to go as well as they can, you know. We will do our best. We will try to succeed. We need to make the sacrifices that we need to make in order to make it happen. And hopefully it will all turn for the best.
Wonderful. And will you be getting back in the studio in 2025 to work on another album?
2025, I think most likely. We already have 3 or 4 songs. I think 2025 is for sure the year that we have at least the songs ready for a second album. And if we manage to hit the studio during 2025, it will be even better.
Awesome, awesome. And Dimitri, any message that you have for the Fading Echoes fans and for the people who are listening Fading Echoes for the first time?
We've had some amazing fans all over the world. It was something that I didn't expect. We've got other orders from all around the world for a physical copy. And I want to thank everyone that has already listened to our music, anyone that will hit the play button after this interview, and thank you for that. I literally cannot think how amazing it is for someone to appreciate something that you have worked so hard on, and I'm truly grateful And anyone that wants to send us a message and say their opinion, we reply to everything. We're happy to receive feedback, and we welcome you too.
Awesome, awesome, Dimitri. And Dimitri, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have you on this interview and giving me a time to speak on Fading Echoes and your new album, Shadow of Another. Like I said earlier, an amazing album from you guys, totally
And
mind-blowing.
thank you for the amazing review you did for us.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. And I wish you a good day and take care of yourself and have a wonderful Sunday.
You too. You do. Goodbye.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye bye.